Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zhao Liu. I'm a senior researcher at National Renewable Energy Laboratory. We are a DOE national lab. So today I'm here to introduce NREL's EVI-X modeling suite of electric vehicle charging infrastructure analysis tools. I'll start with a little bit background. As many of you may know, US EV sales are growing year over year, especially after 2020. This trend is expected to accelerate in the future, with US target of 50% zero-emission vehicle sales by 2030. Forecasts have electric vehicle sales at upward of 85% in the United States by 2040. That's a little bit over 15 years from now. So we are fast approaching a future where almost all vehicles we buy are electric. But charging remains a major concern. A recent study shows that 6 in 10 Americans who are not yet sold on electric vehicles were concerned about where and when they would charge and how much how far their charge will take them. Early charging patterns are home dominant, but many future EV owners, they will not have access to a home charger. A recent study shows that EV discontinuance related to dissatisfaction with the convenience of charging and not having level 2 charging at home. EV charging is a priority for federal government. The government has set ambitious goals to grow domestic electric vehicle and EV charging markets through 2030, with a target of 500,000 PEV chargers and 50% of light-duty vehicle sales as zero-emission vehicles. Those targets are backed by new federal policies and support, including the 2021 bipartisan infrastructure law that has $7.5 billion to build out a national network of EV chargers, and also the 2022 Infrastructure Reduction Act, Inflation Reduction Act, that will provide federal tax credits for EV infrastructure, EV purchases, and domestic mining and manufacturing. The major uncertainty here is that EV charging infrastructure requirements are hard to predict over time and challenging to plan for. Now let's look at NREL's EVI-X modeling suite. Access to reliable electric vehicle charging infrastructure is key to decarbonizing transportation. US government leaders look to NREL for insights on strategic infrastructure deployment. The EVI-X modeling suite is the definitive software for forward-looking charging infrastructure analysis in the US. To give you some examples, recent public policies relying on EVI-X include bipartisan infrastructure law, California's electric vehicle infrastructure project, and EPA's proposed vehicle greenhouse gas regulations. This figure shows a diagram of the EVI-X modeling suite. We have 3 groups of modeling tools, including network planning tools, site design tools, and network and station economics tools. The network planning tools can answer questions like how many charger ports are needed in my area, what kind and where. Those tools include EVI Pro for typical daily travel, EVI On Demand for ride-hailing travel, EVI Road Trip for long-distance travel, and EVI Equity for charging infrastructure accessibility from environmental justice perspective. We also have UFinder for utility partner resource for charging station installation, EVI Dist. This is a new tool. It provides high-fidelity distribution grid insights for utilities. The site design tool can answer questions like what is the optimal configuration for my charging site, what is the expected load profile? Would I benefit from energy storage? Those tools include EVI ratio, EVI in motion, EVI insight for site analysis, heavy tool for multi-fidelity telematics enabled vehicle and infrastructure designs. We also have EVI edges to help you design behind the meter energy storage. So for network and station economics, they can answer questions like, what does it cost to charge, and how can we reduce the charging cost? We have two tools. The EVI-X, it can help you understand the charging infrastructure financial analysis. We also have EVI-Locate. It's for charging station installation design, analysis, and cost estimation. Due to time limit, I will not introduce each tool in detail. Here we have three network planning tools: EVI Pro, EVI Road Trip, and EVI Demand. EVI Pro is a simulation model that models daily charging demands of electric vehicles and designs the supply of infrastructure to meet the demand. The model can simulate EV driver charging behaviors for a given set of assumptions around EVSE access and charging preferences. This model was originally developed through a collaboration with California Energy Commission. Since then, it has been applied in multiple city, state, and national level analysis. For EVI Road Trip, it estimates EV charging demands along highway corridors for long distance travel. So the figure here is a result generated using EVI Road Trip. Those orange dots are the needed charging infrastructure simulated using EVI Road Trip. For EVI Demand, it estimates DC fast charging infrastructure requirements for ride-hail EVs, considering local weather and driving conditions, typical driver shift lengths, home charging access for ride-hail drivers. This is another network planning tool called EVI-Dist. This is a software tool that models, analyzes, and controls grid-scale EV charging integration from distribution feeder to secondary circuitry level. It has analysis functionalities of assess the impact of service transformers, the impact on feeder level loading, the impact on service voltage profiles. It provides some descriptive statistics. It has results for the percentage of load reduction with smart charging management. It can also compare different smart charging management strategies. So the figure on the right shows the modeling framework. From the left, we have three groups of inputs for three modules. The first one is the load profile model or the AMI data that can be used for building energy model. We also have the solar radiation database to support the DEI model. We also have electric vehicle charging needs data generated using EVI Pro to support the EV charging control module. In the middle, we have a module to conduct analysis at transformer level. And to the right, we have a distribution system model that can consider feeder level analysis. So EVI-Dist enables faster deployment of more chargers by providing high fidelity modeling insight to the utility planners. This slide, we have a site design module called EVI Insight. This model is agent-based charging station modeling an analysis tool to investigate site operating requirements. So it can answer questions like, how should EV charging stations be designed? How much cooling is expected at a proposed station? What site level control policies can reduce the grid requirements while limiting the inconvenience to the EV users? What is the average utilization of a station? What is the total power demand of a station? So the figure shows the modeling diagram. So we have inputs for the electric vehicle arrival, state of charge, and their arrival time. We also have the charging profile for different battery chemistry. Using a cooling model, this EVI-Insight can simulate electric vehicles' charging schedule. So EVI-Insight can simulate EV station operations, producing side load profiles and performance metrics like station peak and average power demand, energy delivered by pore type, and vehicle cooling statistics. Here we have a network and station economics tool called EVI-Fast. It is an EV station financial analysis tool. This tool is publicly accessible for in-depth financial scenario analysis of charging stations. It's highly configurable with inputs like station design, utilization, costs, incentives, and financial assumptions. It can calculate financial performance metrics, including investor payback period, net present value, and the levelized cost of charging for each station scenario. This tool has been used in multiple recent DOE studies. Those links, if you're interested, you can go check the details. I would like to highlight that many of the tools has a light version online that can be used by researchers or practitioners. EVI-X web tools, it provides local impact at scale. The access to EVI-X by online tools empowers users with research-grade analysis through a fast and intuitive interface. The scale of web traffic surpasses what researchers could support via ad hoc requests and underscores real-world impact. The web tools was originally launched in 2018. The web traffic for online EVI-X tools has increased every year. For fiscal year 23, the EVI-X web tools received 40,000 page views and 660,000 API hits, representing a 160% increase. So the figure on the right shows the interface of the EVI road trip light version. For the last few minutes, I would like to very briefly introduce the 2030 National Charging Network Study enabled by the EVI-X modeling suite. So the purpose of this study is to answer research questions like what are the charging demands and how much charging infrastructure is needed to support high levels of EV adoption by 2030, and which types of EVSE should be prioritized and where, and what will it cost to build out the EVSE network over time. The national modeling framework standardizes inputs and combines the outputs for each of the light-duty EVI demand models. It captures regional differences in EV charging demands and power requirements due to differences in travel patterns, residential charging access, PEV adoption rates, vehicle type preferences, and weather conditions. So for this study, we used 3 EVI-X models: the EVI Pro for typical daily travel, EVI road trip for long distance travel, and EVI on demand for ride-hailing EVs. The scope of the study. So the major outputs for this study is the EVSE port counts and the costs. This study focuses on personally owned light-duty vehicles. The time frame is from 2022 to 2030. The spatial resolution is at a CBSA level. So for the US, we have about 1,000 CBSAs. EVSE types were classified by access type, location type, and EVS or charger types, showing the figure on the bottom right. This slide shows high-level results of the study. So we found that convenient and affordable charging at or near home location is core to the ecosystem, but it must be complemented by reliable public charging. So to support mid scenario of 33 million electric vehicles by 2030, we need 28 million EVIC ports, including 26.8 million level 1 and level 2 charging ports in privately accessible locations, 1 million level 2 charging ports in publicly accessible locations, and 182,000 fast charging ports in publicly accessible locations. We can use a tree to illustrate the planning philosophy. Public charging is the visible part that can be seen along highways, at popular destinations, and through data online. But the private charging is the hardened part, tucked away in private garages, at apartment complexes, or at certain types of workplace. So the private network is akin to the roots of a tree. It's foundational to the rest of the system and an enabler to the growth of the more visible part. So the more detailed results and discussion for the baseline and the 11 sensitivity scenarios has been open sourced. So you can go download the results for your study region. And if you have any concerns or comments on the results, feel free to reach out. With that, I would like to open the floor for questions. Thank you.